Hi, hello, how are you, Amanda? SEINT artist. We're gonna do our makeup. I've got most of my makeup on except for my cheeks, and that's what I wanted to talk about because the other day I posted a quick little video where I do my contour, bronzer, blush together, and then I blended it all at the same time. And I wanted to show the process of it because a lot of people were saying, I wish I could do that, or they would say, I could never see my blush or my contour. I think I overblend, and that is the key. You do overblend. When you put a color on that's pretty bold, I mean, our contours can be pretty punchy and the blushes can be very punchy. When I see somebody who says they're wearing pink grapefruit and they can't see it, it's because it's been overblended or under applied. And so we're gonna play with it. I mean, this is makeup, it should be fun. And this is the funnest way that I put on my makeup, is when I can put it all on my face and then blend it everything one at a time. But I just thought maybe let's just focus on one thing. Let's just focus on the cheek, because for me, I love that part of the makeup because it can be so piecey, but it's all done together and I love it. So we're all gonna do this. So get your detail brush. Get up. I like the detail brush. That is the best one when you're learning something new, especially when it involves contouring. It's the blend brush, okay? And there's a secret to this, and I feel like it's the secret with all contour, is under blending. When you blend it and you can still see it, trust the process and go to the end and then start tweaking, okay? You can always build up more, but under blend it. Look a little scary, and I promise sometimes you gotta make a mess to clean a mess. That's this case. All right, so I'm gonna go in. I'm using the color Cedar. I'm using Bella Bronzer. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use my Frenchie because I have scarring, and so I use my blush because I'm also 43 and I lose volume in my cheeks every day. And so when I smile, you can see my apples, but when I'm resting, you can't. So if I bring that bold pink, which I like a bold pink, and I have scarring and I don't have apples, Frenchie helps with those two things. So it creates kind of an ombre where I can still have that blush I like, but I don't look like a clown when I'm not smiling. That's a me thing, just so you know. All right, and so we're gonna dig that in. I'm also gonna show you how to sharpen things up. All right, first thing you do is you apply your contour. All right, and I'm gonna do one cheek at a time so we can do it and then do it again. So you can see it twice rather, you know what I mean? Like go through the steps, then watch, and then do the steps with me. We're gonna do that. This is that kind of tutorial. All right, so I'm gonna take my contour, and I always live on the edge of that contour, and we're gonna go above this natural shadow and at the base of the cheek. All right, and so I'm gonna tap this in, and I curve mine up, put it in whatever motion you want, and underblend. You want it to look like crap. That's pretty much it. Then I'm gonna go into my bronzer, and I have my contour line, and then above it, I'm gonna add my bronzer. Now the difference between bronzer and contour is warm, cool. You can kind of see the differences there, okay? Underblend, underblend. This should look like you just fell in the mud. We're okay. It's all gonna work out. Go trust projects, okay? Now I use my fingers for this part. I don't like getting the pink on my brush, honestly, and this is just easier. So I'm gonna take one finger with Frenchie, and then this is Baby Watermelon, two very different colors. This is more peach, and this is obviously pink. And I'm putting my Frenchie over my scarring and on the apples of my cheek. And then I'm gonna take this pink color, and I load my finger up pretty darn good. And we could always, if we have too much, put it on our lips. And then I just layer that right on top of that bronzer because then they work together, but I focus it mainly on the mid of my cheek. So you've got your contour, you got that bronzer, you got that pink and that peach, okay? I'm gonna switch brushes. These are my two go-to brushes, and this is why I recommend them together because these are a great duo. They're like the dynamic duo, okay? All right, so I'm gonna use the dense end first, and I'm going to start, I am not going to blend my contour. I don't blend my contour, go to the bronzer, and then go to the blush. I blend my blush in, and in that I end up blending up because this is a wide brush, it's a small area, and when I blend my blush, it ends up blending everything else together. So I start on that hot pink, and then I'm gonna come up and I'm blending my blush up because as I have a mature face, I focus my blush on this top area here, I smile and I bring it down to that Frenchie color onto those apples, and I smile so I can see my apples, and then I bring it up. That's it. And it blended down that contour, but you can still see the contour and the blush. And that bronze is just an accent. It's an accent to the blush, okay? Now, here's the other thing to take into account. I also underblended this, okay? In real life, the camera takes away about 50%. Keep that in mind if you're taking a selfie for the Instagram or the Facebook or the whatever, or you're in pictures for weddings. You want your colors to be more punchy so that they can be seen into the picture, because that's what you're taking away from it. That's what's gonna last longer than the day. But I also set my face. Now I'm oily, so there will be another layer of blending. So I still underblend this so it still looks bold. Do I wanna go in and touch it up? Yes. Do I do it? No. And so I'm gonna take my setting spray. Now, if you have dry skin, you're going to skip one part. If you have oily skin like me, you're going to include this part. Okay, so we're going to take our setting spray. SEINT spray is great for dry skin. I'm using Urban Decay Charlotte Tilbury for oily skin. So you spray up the side of our face or over our face. Then you're going to grab your setting powder if you're oily. If you're dry, skip this, but you're going to take that fluffy brush just the same, either empty or with powder. I put powder on and I press in that setting spray with my powder, and I go in at the end. So it always starts on the perimeter and then I work it in. By doing this, I'm blending it down even more and picking up excess makeup. And that's why you don't see it, is if you have blended it to perfection and then you're setting it and pressing that setting spray in, you're blending it down again, and that's why you don't see it. All right, if you want to sharpen that contour and add definition, take that detail brush on this pointy end. You could either grab your main highlight or your brightening highlight, whatever you want. You're gonna go under that contour and you are gonna draw a line. I'm using my main highlight and you can see it. And I'm just snatching this up a little bit and then blending it down with that little end. And that's how I do it, okay? So let's do it together now. So now we're gonna switch to the other cheek. I'm gonna pin my hair up so we could just see it just right. I know it's super cute. I'm unsure about this shirt, okay? All right, so we're gonna take that detail brush, dynamic duo here, folks. Okay, detail brush. We're gonna go into the contour, whatever contour you use. You can do this with olive, you can do all of them, okay? And we're gonna put it in above that natural shadow, base of the cheek. You're gonna go up and down, up and down. Don't come in past that outer corner of your eye unless it's something you really love, and then go for it. Underblend it. Going into that bronzer, we're going to go right above that contour on the cheekbone up towards the temple. Because if you bronze, you're bronzing up here. So we're just bridging it around and together. All right. Be underblended. Look a little messy. It's okay. Again, grabbing Frenchie, grabbing baby watermelon, putting that Frenchie on the apple of the cheek / my scarring, and then taking that bright pink mid of the cheek and then bring it up. Okay. Okay. Now we switch to our blush and bronzer brush for a reason. It's the blush brush. Come on. All right. Starting on the hot pink and tapping around, just focusing on the blush, bringing it up that temple, smile, bring it down to that apple, and just circle and stipple, not swirling, stippling. Okay. And it will inadvertently blend down your contour. Okay. I'm just going to, you could also clean it up after, grabbing a little bit of that main highlight, cleaning it up right here just to snatch it up a little bit. That's okay too. And if you feel like it came up like right here, I feel like my blush got a little out of hand, I can grab a little bit of brightening. Where am I? Right here. And I could just clean up right here at that time, okay? And so I can rein it in. That's okay. Grabbing the setting spray. We're gonna spray. We're gonna grab that fluffy brush, swirl it into our powder, or skip this part if you're dry. Going on the perimeter of the face, press in that setting spray, bring it in, go under the eyes when you think it's empty, and then go down the mid of your face. That's how I do it. So you can still have a nice bold cheek. You can build at this point, but if you want to have that definition, don't worry so much about blending each piece, contour to bronzer to blush. I know I've talked about that before. That's a different application. For this specific one, I like it because I feel like I get the most out of my makeup. I love when I can blend these all together, but for the sake of tutorials, I put my makeup on a bazillion different ways. This is quick, this is easy, and this gives me really great coverage because the cheeks are where I need the most help because I have hyperpigmentation and I have scarring, but I still want that definition, and I love a bold pink, but it always pulls my scarring and my hyperpigmentation through. So using Frenchie with it helps mute down the grabbing of the undertones that are under that makeup. So if you're wanting to use saffron and sangria and baby watermelon, pink grapefruit, pink lemonade, dahlia, you want to use those colors, use Frenchie with it. You could layer it underneath and then tap in that bold color. You can do it at the same time. You could do Frenchie bold, Frenchie bold, Frenchie bold. I mean, there's a billion ways, play with it, but I do recommend if you have cheek issues, freckles, hyperpigmentation, scarring, Frenchie is an amazing tool. And it's a great lip color. It's a great blush color if you're very fair toned, but I use it all the time as a tool more than it is as a blush or anything else. It's more of it's not a one trick pony. It's a many trick pony, okay? It's a circus blush, okay? And it does it all. I'm getting weird. Okay, so that's it. I'm doing this I'm trying some curly hair stuff, but it's a work in progress. All right, so that's how I do the cheeks. So we did it on my own maybe, or you watched, followed along, and then you got to do it again. I like doing them on their own so you can not worry about zip-zapping back and forth around the video. All right, that's it. It's really that easy. It's really just the key is under blending all of it until the very end and using that fluffy brush. You could do a kabuki brush if you don't have the blush and bronzer brush, and then do everything with this brush. So you can do this with regular brushes. Do I recommend SEINT brushes? Yes, they are made for this cream makeup. This is a really, really great cream that isn't like the sticks, and these brushes were made for it. It's not gonna break off in your brushes. It's not gonna break off on your face. They're really great, soft, wonderful brushes. So I do recommend them, and these are my dynamic duo. I recommend them to everybody. Everybody. If you've been color matched by me, you know these are in the color matches. All right, that's it. That's how I did it. Ask any questions and have a great day.